Hey, what's going on, crypto people? Happy freaking Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? It's Generational Wealth Wednesday. Good night. What's good, family? What is good? Listen. Kamala Harris made the right move, fam. She made the right move. She ain't showing up. Bitcoin 2024, she ain't going. It was the right move. We talked about it last night. I'm like, Kamala Harris is going to the Bitcoin conference. Remember that face I made? It's like, hmm. Probably not a good idea. The Donald has got that sewed up, baby. You have to go for the next thing and perhaps get a little educated before you try stepping into that spot. No, that would not have been a great look. In any case, she's not going. We'll share a little bit about that as well. Look, a debt crisis is coming. We're going to go over that post, that thread from Balaji. I said we're going to go over today, and it's Generational Wealth Wednesday, so we got to get into it. This dude is something else. You want to talk about a brain? This dude is like he's like the, I don't know, the Indian version, I don't know, of Elon Musk. Maybe some say smarter than Elon Musk. This dude, I watched it, he do it. I watched this Balaji guy do an interview with was it Raul Paul? I think it was Raul Paul, and Raul kept trying to bring him back. Come back. You're going this way, and you're quoting 900 gazillion books, and then you're going this way, and you're quoting 900 gazillion people. We need you right here. Come back, come back. He kept trying to rein him in, and it didn't work. Balaji, I don't know. That's a brain right there for sure. We're going to go over that post. Look, the market's doing what it does. The ETH ETF is a bigger success than what people think. It's a bigger success than what most people think. And it looks like it's going to end up number 2 of all time. That's what it's looking like. Of all ETFs in the history of finance. That's what it's shaping up to be. We still got a few days left to get the final determinant, to get the numbers, but this is what it's looking like thus far. So don't listen to those people talking about, no one expected Ethereum ETF to do as well as the Bitcoin ETF. No one. No one expected that. Everybody that I listened to that wasn't an XRP entertaining content creator said 20 to 25% of what Bitcoin did would be a great day for Ethereum. A great day. And we got those numbers. So we're going to get into those numbers as well. Appreciate you guys checking in on a Wednesday freaking afternoon, a little bit later than I normally like to do my first stream, but I had to run down and get work done on the automobile, on the machine, get that machine hooked up correct. And that reminds me, I still got to get an inspection done as well. Got to get that inspection called in, get that set up. We're going to hear from my guy, Mickey B. Fresh, talking about the Super DEX. That's that monster. That's the XRPL. So we're gonna hear from my guy, Mickey B. Fresh, as well. What's going on with the market? I mean, the market's doing what the market does. The numbers, I mean, what's going on with Bitcoin? One day it's like one 30-minute session, it's 67. The next 30-minute session is 65. What's going on there? We'll go over the numbers. If you guys tell me you can stomach it, we'll go over it. We'll go to our guys at CoinGecko to get the latest and the greatest numbers for you for sure. Interesting time. I got to tell you, it's an interesting time to be an early adopter in this new asset class that is the digital asset space. I'm telling you, my friends, you and I, we're playing a game that 99.99% of the masses, well, they don't even know is being played. And we're winning, my friends. We are winning. I was listening to Benjamin Cohen today. Bitcoin speculation, Bitcoin dubious speculation. It's great to get different perspectives. You got to be well-rounded in this space. You can fall around and lean into one altcoin, one narrative, and find yourself in trouble. So I was listening to him today, kind of spreading some stuff, and it's good to have that perspective for sure. Definitely good to have that perspective. For sure. All right, so let's go over these numbers, guys. Let's go over the numbers. What is this? Wednesday, I said, yeah. Generational Wealth Wednesday. Let's go over these numbers. Let's cover the CoinGecko. See what they have to say over there, CoinGecko. All right, so according to CoinGecko, let me refresh this. The total cryptocurrency market cap. Yeah. It's 2.51 trillion. Total cryptocurrency market cap 2.51 trillion. Solend is up 65%. Anyway, total cryptocurrency market cap 2.51 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is 52% or so. Bitcoin is trading at $65,835 again. On the 30-day, it's up 10%. Ethereum is trading at $3,300. Isn't that interesting? 3370 to be exact. It's down it's up 3% on a 30-day. Solana is at $178. It's trading at $178. It's up 39, almost 40% on the 30-day. How cool is that? It's probably not financial advice, probably be good, I don't know. Take advantage of what's going on with some liquidity pools in Solana. We'll see. XRP is trading at 62.5%. It's up 33% on a 30-day. That's interesting. What's 62 cents to all-time high of $3.84? Let's take a quick gander at that. I don't know. I said I wasn't going to get it anymore. I said I wasn't. I'm going to do 62 cents. I'm not even going to do 50 cents to 40 cents. Some of you guys got snatched some up at those prices. But let's do 62 cents. 0.62. Let's go to $38.04. Let's see what that looks like. Just for funsies. That's a 5x to all-time high. 5x to an all-time high. It's not bad. That's not bad. To all-time high, 5x. That's not bad. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what kind of new all-time high is going to look like. Let's say it's $10. Then that's what? I don't know, 15x? Let's do it. From 62 cents. Yeah, about 15x. There it is. Those are the numbers. The market family is just simply doing what the market does. What we got going on? Any good 30-day gains? I mean, Solana 40% on 30 days. Pretty good. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm trying to look for some good 30-day gains that are near 40%. Oh, meme coin. Solana meme coin. 57% on the 30-day. I gotta tell you. That's some people can, they're swing traders, 50% in 30 days. 57%. You can't leave that out. It's just interesting stuff. Bonk, another meme coin, 38.9% on the 7-day. I mean the 30-day, on the 30-day. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know. Jupiter, 37% on the 30-day. So Bonk, Solana ecosystem. With dog with hat, Solana ecosystem. Solana ecosystem. Jupiter exchange, Solana ecosystem. Jupiter exchange, 37% on a 30-day. Bonk, meme coin, Solana, 38 point, might as well say 39%. Dog with hat, Solana meme coin, 57%. How is it that the ecosystem is just churning out some stuff? Are we going to try to figure it out? Or are we going to just say, it is what it is? Solana, the token, 40% on a 30-day. Are we going to just say it is what it is? Or are we going to try to figure it out and say, but but technology, but partnerships, but meme coins. All those guys ka-chinging on those meme coins, you know, pretty certain that when they get to the teller's office, they get to the teller's spot, they drive through the drive-through, they go into the bank. No one's asking about, hey, were you the guy with the dog with hat meme coins? Hey, I see you got, 6-figure percentage gains. Was that what's a lot of meme coins? Because we don't take those dollars. We only take utility token dollars. Anyhow, what's going on, Alex? Right? How are you, bro? Appreciate you checking in. Happy Generational Wealth Wednesday to you, my friend. Siege, what up, bro? Life is good, Alex. We get 5+ trillion, 10 trillion or more. We're going to hit all-time highs. Yeah. We got to get over 3 trillion. 3 trillion was the previous all-time high for the total cryptocurrency market cap. Yeah, Myro is a Solana ecosystem token as well. Meme, I don't know I think it's a meme. Yeah, meme token. I think so. Is it Myro a meme? Because I think there was like a Milo. Anyway, I don't know. Is Myro a meme? I know the Solana ecosystem is doing what it does. And it's, for me, long-term hold. Now, will I take profit in December? Will I take profit in this year and 2024? Yes. November, December of each year? Yes. But for me, it's an accumulation asset. Making its way for the fang of the digital asset space. For me, that's what it's looking like. That's what it's playing out. People don't understand what drives these markets, and they look to stuff to get distracted. Distracted by slow and expensive with Bitcoin, distracted with expensive on Ethereum, and distracted with VC coins on Solana. Like, distracted. So it is a meme. Gotcha. Okay. So what do we want to cover first? Well, let's cover the fact that the Harris camp made the right decision. Okay. They made the freaking right decision. What are we talking about here? All right. Let me share this. They made the right decision, Alex. For sure. So just in, says Bitcoin Magazine, Kamala Harris decided not to speak at Bitcoin 2024 conference in Nashville. The CEO, David Bailey, confirms. Okay, that was smart. Because what are you gonna do over there? What are you gonna do with the it just was not going to end well. It would not have ended well. She don't know anything. She don't know. So David Bailey said right here, Caitlin Long reposted this. David Bailey, CEO, Bitcoin Magazine. Kamala Harris will not be speaking at the Bitcoin conference. No surprise. What can she say to us when she's actively imprisoning developers, forcing our industry overseas, attacking proof of work? It would have been a disaster for her. All eyes on Trump now. It just wouldn't have been great. She doesn't know. I mean, the Donald, affectionately speaking, the Donald. He knows a little bit. He don't know much, but what is she gonna know? She didn't know. She don't know. JD's, schooling the Donald Trump right now. I don't think it was a mistake at all. Tony says, what an epic mistake by Harris. I don't think it was a mistake. She would have been ill prepared. She would not have been prepared, bro. It would have come off like she's just trying to, pandering. She's late. They are late. That whole side of the aisle is just late. Not that they can't do something moving forward, but they got to come up with a strand. They got to be strategic. And like Meta Lawman says, what are you going to do about, show me that you can check the box. Operation Choke Point 2.0, done. Show me that you can check the box. Gary Gensler is out at the SEC. Show me that you can check those boxes. What is it? Veto. Repeal the SOB 121 thing that was vetoed. Show me you can do those things. And tell me that you're looking into Fit 21. I mean, good night. Then maybe we can begin to think that you're serious about a thing. It would have made 0 sense for her to go. 0. She wouldn't have done. She wouldn't have. No. She'd have been darned if you do, darned if you didn't type deal. So I think it's better just instead of just don't go. Prepare for the next thing. Prepare for, some other thing. Organize some own thing yourself and bring some people in. Your next time that Zopa, who was the guy? Zopa, whoever organized that little get together, why don't you attend that or hold another one? Caitlin Long says, agreed. Unless she would have announced that she'd already fired all the Elizabeth Warren Knights in the federal agencies for still trying to kill the U.S. crypto industry, she would have been booed heavily. I agree. It would have been just, it would have got embarrassing for the Bitcoiners. It'd have been embarrassing for her. I'm glad she did not show, Alex, right? I'm glad she did not show. So, so she didn't show. It was smart, very, very smart for sure. I think we're going to look at, let's look at these ETH ETFs in terms of, it's a bigger success than what people were kind of thinking. Eric Balkunas here shared something that I think is important, but it was another one more important here. Day one in the books for the ETH ETFs, who did $1 billion in total volume, which is 23% of what the spot Bitcoin ETFs did on their first day. And ETH, which is BlackRock's thing, did 25% of IBIT's volume, which was the BTC thing. The gap between ETH and the newborn 8 is a healthy 625 million, sizable chunk of which should convert to the inflows. So this was a later post from Eric Balkunas, which I think this one is really kind of speaks, right? So he's a senior ETF analyst for Bloomberg. I was curious how the ETFs would rank in day one volume versus all 600 or so new launches in the past 12 months. By the way, this dude said in an interview that the ETFs launch about 2 every single day. A new ETF is launched 2 in the country, 2 every day. So I was curious about how the ETH ETFs would rank in day one volume versus all 600 or so new launches in the past 12 months. Excluding the Bitcoin ETFs and ETH, which is iShares Ethereum Trust, would be number 1 by a lot. This FETH number 2, which is Fidelity's thing. ETHW, which is Bitwise's number 5, and ETH 7th, Grayscale's ETF, and ETHV in the 13th spot, and CETH, which was the lowest among the group, would still rank in the top 10% versus a normal new launch. Just another way to illustrate how unusual all this is. This guy's like ETH. I mean, he's an ETF kind of guy. Right? That's his wheelhouse. This is what what's this dude's name? The Bitwise guy had to say. Forget this dude's name. Matt Haugen. Take a listen to what he has to say here.
Flows on a day like today. It's early, but already we're seeing some impressive numbers. How are you thinking about the reaction to the launch today?
Yeah, it's been an incredible reaction, to be honest. It's exceeded my expectations. Through lunchtime, we had about $500 million traded in these new ETFs. By comparison, the average ETF trades about $1 million on its launch day. So it's shaping up to be the second most successful ETF launch of all time, after, of course, the Bitcoin ETFs. And we expect to see strong flows into ETHW.
And this is important. You got it. What people are kind of missing here, because well, it's only 23% of what Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the most. Oh, I forgot to share this. Let me share. Bitcoin was the most successful ETF launch in history. Not Bitcoin, not a crypto ETF. Of all the ETFs ever to be an ETF, ever to have existed, ever to have inflows and outflows and volumes, Bitcoin, a crypto ETF, was the most successful of all time. Of all time. And Ethereum is shaping up to be the second most successful, not second most successful crypto ETF. No. Ethereum is shaping up. We'll see. We got to give it 5-7 days or so. But currently, at current pace, is setting up to be the second most successful ETF of all time. Do you understand what TradFi is doing right now? Do you understand what TradFi is doing right now? They're losing their minds. They're absolutely losing their minds right now. I mean, just salivating. I mean, do you understand? There's going to be another one. It's going to be another ETF and another ETF and another ETF. Their investors have spoken. They just needed something. They just needed something regulated to get into. Their investors have spoken. The reason why we're savvy investors, because we know what's going on. We need to hedge a bit against this mess that's going on, this debasement of currency, this inflation. And it's looking like it's the digital asset space. We're not excited about trying to hold $10 million worth of Bitcoin on a ledger wallet. But if we can get it by way of this thing and have you custody and then hold you accountable for holding it, we'll take that. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. You understand? That's what's going on. What the world? The second is gearing up to be the second most successful ETF launch in history. In history, fam. In history. Did I share that? Let me share that video again, because you guys got to hear it, but you didn't really get to see it. Let's go back. I don't know what I was thinking. Let's try this again.
Flows on a day like today, it's early, but already we're seeing some impressive numbers. How are you thinking about the reaction to the launch today?
Yeah, it's been an incredible reaction, to be honest. It's exceeded my expectations. Through lunchtime, we had about $500 million traded in these new ETFs. By comparison, the average ETF trades about $1 million on its launch day. So it's shaping up to be the second most successful ETF launch of all time, after, of course, the Bitcoin ETFs. And we expect to see strong flows into ETHW, the Bitwise Ethereum ETF, when we close out later today.
Let me give some credit where credit is due, just in case Bloomberg wants to give me some kind of strike or something. Let's do a little credit. Let's do a little credit. Credit Bloomberg. And Bloomberg. Just in case, As long as that was terrible typing. That was terrible typing, Siege. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Did I see some people checking? What's going on, Leo Messi? What's going on, my guy? D Brown is in the building. What's up, D? How are you, bro? Life is good. Wait until they get to know about XRP. Look, I'm telling you, listen. when they discover, Leo, when they discover, because they don't know right now. Of course, Ripple was off somewhere outside of crypto and doing stuff. Okay. When they get to find out the prowess, when they learn the prowess of that XRPL with the DEX and a central limit order book and an automated market maker, when they get to discover the promise of the pathfinding and Prisma, and they discover this next level automated market maker, listen to me. I'm telling you, it's going to change the game. It's going to change the game. It's going to change the game when they get to know, once they learn and discover. You know, right now, Ripple's got to get their freaking off-chain products on-chain. They got to get that ODL on-chain. They got to get that RippleNet on-chain. They got to get Liquidity Hub on freaking chain. They got to get our checks to get their hundreds of millions of stuff on the chain. Market makers going to learn. The VCs are going to learn. Institutions are going to learn and learn and learn and learn. Like, holy smoke, this thing is game changing right here. When tokenization, you can do some tokenization on an XRPL as well. Yeah, all this stuff is native to the blockchain, which means less counterparty risk. Yeah, never been down. And you're just as fast as Solana, and you're just as inexpensive as Solana, and you've never been down. But they don't know all of this stuff yet. They don't know because people went in the wrong direction. But they're about to learn, Chris Miles. They're about to learn. They're about to learn. Sure, the plot on title was there and the whole thing. And yes, it hurt. His body blows, man. 4 or 5 years of just yuck. But they're about to learn. And perhaps, I don't know, maybe 62 cents XRP is good. I'm not buying it anymore. I can't. Maybe I will. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Contact Foods in the building. What's going on, my friend? TradFi is coming to crypto, not vice versa. Not vice versa. That's right. TradFi is coming to crypto. Right. Yeah. They're coming for sure. And we're not going over there. They're coming over here. Let's go. This is what I've been saying. They're coming. So, you know, we'll see how things goes. Let's see if Orchestra can become Jupiter Exchange. Let's see. We'll see. Or is it going to be Moy Finance that becomes the Jupiter Exchange on XRPL? Don't sleep on Moy Finance. I told you guys. Do not sleep on Moy Finance. Don't sleep on them. Do not sleep. Now, let's listen to our guy, Mickey B. Fresh, talk about this Super DEX. He's excited about it. I always like to share my guy with you. It's just a few minutes, but it's well worth it. Okay. I don't know how far. I don't know if we need to go back that far. We don't need to hear from Christy and Carlo for crying out loud. Let's just start there.
To really make the XRP ledger. So that's really our vision and our hope as we start to partner up with different interoperability players to really make the XRP ledger a hub for value transfer.
So David Schwartz says, I obviously think that the XRP ledger should be the winner for cross-currency payments and liquidity provision because it was specifically built for that. And everything has been optimized for that particular use case. But what can also happen is that an ecosystem could evolve around it with smart contract chains and chains that are optimized for real-world asset tokenization and carbon markets and tokenized securities and stablecoins and all these other use cases. You could imagine a case where the XRP ledger becomes the hub for this sort of periphery around it. And the design allows for the liquidity from DeFi applications to aggregate at the protocol level rather than compete in silos, which enhances capital efficiency and overall institutional appeal. And that's where the Super DEX comes into play.
But the most interesting thing I think about the XRP Ledger's automated market maker is how it integrates with the other functions on the XRP Ledger into what we've been calling the Super DEX. One of the first things that we need is asset portability. That's not all of interoperability, but that's a big piece, and that's the piece we need now. And one possibility is the XRP Ledger as a trading hub across blockchains with the DEX, the payment engine, pathfinding, the various different XRP Ledger features that enable the movement of assets. Issued assets enable, remote assets that are based on different chains along with bridges. So I think that's an extremely important step towards interoperability, but it's just one piece. The industry has a long way to go. But if we want mass adoption, users are going to have great experiences. We have to solve interoperability problems. The XRP Ledger could be a token bridge for asset portability.
And now we go to the recent addition of the XRPL Community Magazine by the XRPL Commons has some of the greatest insights that is of most interest to the XRP community and the XRPL ecosystem, because it clearly lays out the vision for what they are building on the Ripple X side and what all these enhancement and features and strategic partnerships are meant to facilitate. The AMM and the Super DEX. Here's what you need to know and the implications of the XLS30D proposal that was recently passed and implemented into the mainnet XRP ledger. The XRPL DEX is on track to become one of the most advanced, fastest, and most cost-efficient decentralized exchanges in existence, a true Super DEX. Our vision for the XRPL Super DEX is ambitious, yet straightforward, to establish it as the go-to liquidity hub in the crypto universe, whether you're in the market to acquire a game skin on Polygon or delve into yield farming on Solana. Token swapping becomes a necessity at some point. When that moment comes, the XRPL will offer the fastest, most economical, and liquid solution for your trading needs.
Now, hold on a second.
The XRPL will offer.
So when you read this here, it's talking about Polygon. That's a different chain, right? That's a side chain to Ethereum, really. And we're talking Solana, that's another chain on it to itself, a layer one. And we're talking about the XRPL. By way of the XRPL, you're going to be able to operate in the Polygon network and on the Solana chain. And hopefully this will be on the Polygon ZK EVM. You understand? You're going to enter in by way of the XRPL. Now, and we're going to have to prove this out, the fastest, most economical, and liquid. We're going to have to prove that out. That is going to have to be proven. And the way that it is proven it's by daily active users using it, proving it out. That's just what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take here. But we got to have something to use. We got to have the right DEX. We got to have the right platforms, UI, UX to prove this out. Right? You understand? It's great. We got this aggregated liquidity, unlike Uniswap V3. It's fragmented. Any aggregators out there that you see, it's fragmented. But they're all fragmented. And they're still great, but they're fragmented. If that's great, what is the XRPL and the DEX with this order book going to be? Natively. The institutions are going to love that. They're going to love it, but they have to find out about And hopefully Ripple gets this stuff, all these RippleNet people on Ledger. Liquidity Hub, I don't care if it's just 10 people on the Ledger. ODL on the Ledger. That's what it's going to take.
For the fastest, most economical, and liquid solution for your trading needs. The XRPL DEX is on track to become one of the most advanced, fast, and cost-efficient decentralized exchanges in existence, a true super DEX. At the heart of the decentralized finance lies opportunity for everyone by stripping away the barriers of centralization in TradFi markets. Even the small players can now access a piece of the pie. Automated market makers, AMMs, a prime example.
And you see how it says volume go up, fees go up, liquidity provider returns go up, XRP price go up. It's a flywheel to the whole thing, and it makes absolutely perfect sense for sure. This is why it's important to not just know the mechanics. Okay, I go to Orchestra.finance. Okay, I have XRP. I trade it for 50, half for USDC. That's mechanics. Okay, I press enter. I have LP tokens. Okay, then I get an hour lecture on impermanent loss. No, those are the mechanics of being a liquidity provider. That's not the skill set. You need the skill sets to be able to take advantage of what's going to happen here. You're going to need some skill sets. It's not going to be just a matter of providing liquidity. Now, the fact that this is done at the layer one and this aggregated liquidity is good for sure. But it's going to be some other stuff you're going to need to know and need to understand, because there's going to be projects building on this thing. Okay, right? Trust me, they're going to want to leverage this aggregated liquidity. They're going to be concentrated liquidity pools, CLMMs. That's coming. There's going to be aggressive and conservative options. Where you set ranges in these liquidity pools. That's coming. In addition to the just 50-50 full range. You got to know that stuff, right? Just don't be fooled by invitations into groups to teach you the mechanics. The mechanics you can just learn. Right? I can show you how to do mechanics. Okay, here's step one. Those mechanics. You need the skill sets to win here. The good thing about it is they're making this very, very liquidity provider incentivized. That's the good thing. They're doing, I want to say, they're providing a very generous way to earn here. It's very, very generous. It's very, very generous. And it's built in. It's built in, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Like for me, when Moon, 1020 XRP, cool. For me, Crypto Siege, certain percentage of that liquidity pool. Why? Yield. Why? Because I know how to leverage the liquidity pool to get the yield, get the fees. Right? To be a lender, not just a borrower, right? For sure. And if they do a lot of things that I'm thinking they're going to be doing, it's going to be pretty cool. Not 100% of when Moon, just a portion. Just portion. Take profit, portion in the liquidity pool, because I know it's coming. I know what's the Jupiter exchange of the XRP is coming. The Aave of the XRPL is coming. Do you understand? It's coming, but you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. There's a full cycle. There's a flywheel to cash flowing. Not the mechanics of a liquidity pool. That's not enough, fam. That's not enough.
Example of this demonstration. They empower token holders to earn yields on their otherwise idle funds, simultaneously providing a crucial service to the market taker side.
Yeah, that's the part that a lot of people don't know. My good friend it was always, when he was teaching me, he would always teach me, you got to understand that what you're doing is providing a service. When you hop on Aave, you hop on Benki, you're providing a service. When you go to Orca, you're in a liquidity pool, you're providing a service. And if you're providing a service, you should be rewarded for that service. But if you don't know the service that you're providing, or you're a bad service provider, you're going to get hurt. Things aren't risky. People are unskilled. Let me say that again. Things aren't risky. People are unskilled. That's the difference. That is the difference.
And on the XRP ledgers, XLS30D spec, which is built in to the network layer, those market takers will be ODL, cross-currency payment volume, running from Prisma, routing RippleNet payments.
So this is a really exciting one. You heard David Schwartz talk a little bit yesterday about the Super DEX, aggregated liquidity for better capital efficiency.
Just look at it. Fully on-chain order books, 24/7, which is awesome. Transactions settle in 3 to 5 seconds, not just, settle, not just complete a transaction. At fractions of a cent in fees. XRP can be used as a bridge currency to improve liquidity for a trading pair, right? This whole thing is people hopping on the network, using dApps on the network, creating demand for the native asset that is XRP. That's what we want. It's a nice little flywheel. You got to hop on there, right? Hop on there. That people like to see volume. I was listening to a stream today. I was listening to Eric Balkunis today, as a matter of fact, from Bloomberg. People like to see volume. People like to see that volume number, that TVL number, the 24-hour volume and the TVL number. They like to see big numbers there. Then they get excited about it, right? You start creating demand for the native asset. That's just we all want as XRP holders.
And usability. So the XRPL DEX has had an order book based exchange for over 10 years now. It's a really powerful on-chain trading mechanism that isn't very widely known across crypto. Typically, when you hear DEX, you think AMM. People don't realize that the efficient systems that they actually are using for trade execution and TradFi can exist on chain if you have an efficient enough blockchain. And the XRP ledger is exactly that. It's great for highly liquid assets. Like if you see a USD stablecoin against XRP, for example, there might be market makers involved to help bridge that order book. And it's the perfect system for efficient trade execution there. But it doesn't solve everything. So the Ripple team, in collaboration with others, released an AMM recently that increases liquidity for the long tail of token using the conservation function. So that liquidity is spread across a curve. And if you have a new project that issues a token and can't afford a professional market maker, they can also have liquidity and their traders can swap tokens without a huge amount of slippage. So these systems together,
and that's a big thing, without having the money to pay these market makers, etc. That's a big thing. That's an important thing, right? It's a big thing and it's an important thing. But there's developers and people out there that don't know about this, right? And we can do our part as content creators to let people know. We got to understand it. We got to do our part. If we keep getting everybody distracted about other stuff, right? Right. Developers are people too. They're on YouTube. They're in Twitter Spaces. And if they keep constantly hearing about other stuff that's not on the XRPL, and they see that particular community is talking about other stuff not on the XRPL, they're going to go to ecosystems that talk about the chain, talk about what's going on in the chain, talk about the community, what the community is growing. right? They want to go to communities that are engaged in the digital asset space, not on other stuff.
Which are bidirectionally integrated so that the trader doesn't need to know which system they're interacting. They just place their trade and the ledger will do the hard work on figuring out where it ultimately needs to execute. Creates what we believe is the Super DEX, is this ultimate combination of two different execution systems that can solve for any trade that's necessary.
It's a big deal, fam. It's a big deal. We got to do our part to let people know. And obviously active participation is going to be a big deal. But if we're distracted by other things, and you guys know what I'm talking about, if we're distracted by other things, we don't create network demand. Because we're concerned about Stephen Nario. Truth Labs person. And the word doesn't get out about the prowess of the XRPL. That's, in my humble opinion, is where our focus should be. The prowess of this XRPL, the monster, the genius in motion that is the XRPL. Right? You got to learn about it so you can share it. Right? We can't expect to create network adoption when we know more about Link 2 than we do about the XRPL. How are we going to create network adoption that way? You tell me. I'm open to hearing it. Tell me how we're going to create network adoption of the XRPL by knowing more about Link 2 and I Trust Capital than we do about the XRPL, the decentralized exchange, the central limit order book, and the automated market maker. Leo says, did you see the video of Quincy when he talked about the XRPL and the decentralized exchange? I probably did. Quincy's a smart guy. XRPL doesn't need layer 2, correct. A lot of chains are fast and cost efficient, correct. The biggest difference is the prowess of the XRPL is all native to the XRPL. Ethereum had to delegate to layer 2s like Arbitrum and Optimism, Polygon, ZK, Polygon, and then Polygon, ZK, EVM. And the XRP ledger bridges, it created a side chain for different things. But the genius, the things that it does well, is all native to the ledger, and it does those things better than the other chains. That's the genius of it. The prowess, the next level things are native to the XRPL. That's where we win, fam, in my opinion. Leo says utility coins will not have a bear market, in my opinion. All right. All right. That's right. More and more chains. You're right, Alex. More and more chains are becoming fast and efficient. More and more. Right? More and more. Now, they don't have the history of the XRPL, right? They're never broken, never gone down. They're never hacked history. But you can't argue with people liking new things. People like new. Right? So in order to combat that, we collectively have to create or help to create network adoption. Right? Number one way, active participation. Now, when I say we, that includes builders and developers. What you got? What you got for me to try and use? What you got, Orchestra Finance? Are you paying attention to what's going on at Jupiter? Can you provide a DCA and a value average strategy? What you got? Where's the Camino Finance of the XRPL? I want to know. Where is it and when is it coming? Is Moy Finance going to take that step and do it? I don't know. Is it going to be DexFi.pro? Possibly. They got some good stuff going on there in the lending and borrowing. They really do. Got some good stuff going on there for sure. So it's the things what we need. You know, we got the EVM sidechain that's going to help with a lot of things. We got the Axelar and the FMOS bridge thing that's going to help with a lot. We got to get the word out so builders and developers can go there, build it, create it, and then tap into the XRPL. Because, you know, the word on the street is not a lot of people know how to build on XRPL. So let's make it easier for them while they're figuring out how. Make it easier with this sidechain, and you can just, you know, that little plug-in, build something on those EVM sidechains, tap in to the XRPL. So it's going to be cool to see. I'm excited to see Moy Finance do its thing. I'm excited to see DexFi.pro do its thing, and Orchestra Finance do their thing as well. Let me see, what else did I have here? Should we go with the Balaji post? It's just something. Yeah, let's do that. This is one of these really, really smart guys, Alex, right? Balaji. Smart guy, immutable money, infinite frontier, eternal life. He's a Bitcoiner. All right. Economics are bigger than politics. No election can pay off America's $175 trillion in debt. Only the printing press can. Because as Elon and Dalio and others realize, the Western world is headed for a sovereign debt crisis far worse than 2008. Just like they've been lying about Biden's senility, they've also been lying about the economy. And so they're going to print a lot of currency, but take a look at the data and judge for yourself. More emergency loans than 2008. First, did you know that the Fed, number one, made more emergency loans in 2023 than during the financial crisis of 2008? The banking system is on life support thanks to the United States government first selling billions in bonds to financial institutions and then devaluing them with surprise rate hikes. Think about that statement. Just look at this graph from the Fed. The blue bump below on the left is the lending from the 2008 crisis. You know, that little old thing, the 2008 crisis. The purple is, you know that CL, the thing that starts with a C and ends with a D. And the giant orange slant aquamarine monster on the right is the 2023 banking crisis. Do you see? So this is 2008. This is 2023. Do you see how much higher it is than 2008? Second, did you know that the United States is borrowing more under the Biden boom than it did during the C word that ends in a D? Set aside whether a virus should have been treated as a financial crisis. At least the borrowing was at 0% rates. But today, the United States government is borrowing historical sums of money in peacetime at a 5% rate, at 5% rates. This is the act of a desperate man maxing out his credit cards to pay his bills. More interest than defense. Third, did you know that all this borrowing has made interest payments on the national debt the single largest government expense? Just paying the interest. More than defense or Social Security or anything else. The number one thing all tax dollars and printed dollars now go towards as of 2024 are payments to bondholders. And even still, anyone who bought U.S. Treasuries or other bonds got annihilated over the past few years for all the warfare and all the welfare. It was buy now, pay later. And as you can see from the graph, the time to pay has come. Mm, mm, mm. National defense, the net interest is surpassed the national defense spending. Unbelievable. More devaluation of that dirty, nasty fiat we call the dollar. Fourth, did you know that the dollar has lost at least 25% of its value in just 4 years? This one you probably knew from just your lived experience of inflation. But Larry Summers estimates that purchasing power has been eroded even more radically than this. Let's see if I can't get this to appear bigger. There it is there. Go to number 4. But Larry Summers estimates that purchasing power has been eroded even more radically than this, with annual numbers hitting 18%. If you include the enormous spike in loan payments due to rate hikes, compounded over 4 years, that would be considerably more than 25% of the dollar value. Wow. More than 25%. This is a chart of the US inflation aggregated. More than 25%. Goodness gracious. So you've lost more than 25% of your spending power. He says, but wait, there's more. 6 more graphs and references. Remember this? I showed you guys this yesterday with Elon Musk. Where are we with dollar value destruction, you might ask? We're down here, right? Right. So remember, solid real money, silver and gold. Then we went to fiat paper notes backed by gold. Then we went to the printing, devaluing of the dollar. That's 3. And we're right in between that and the Zimbabwe dollar. That's where the fiat dollar is right now. Right in between the fiat, the Zimbabwe dollar and the dirty, nasty fiat that's losing more than 25% of its value in just 4 years. Five, more treasury dumping by China. Next, did you know that China, the single largest foreign buyer of US treasuries, has been dumping United States paper at an accelerating clip? This is a bit technical, but China is an outside investor in the US, kind of like a new venture capitalist. Kind of like a new venture capitalist investing in your tech company is an outside investor. Even by buying just 5% of your equity, or in that case, debt, they set the price for everyone else and show that there's robust outside demand by people who don't have to buy. But now that outside demand is crashing. I mean, look at this chart. Wow. China's holding of U.S. Treasury securities. Wow. But isn't the dollar a store of value? What are other countries saving in, if not U.S. Treasuries? Well, China is a bellwether for much of the non-U.S. world. And those countries have begun stacking historical quantities of gold, even as Western countries have been selling gold. And it shows here, take a look. It says major BRICS trio, Russia, India, and China, official gold reserves. Whoa. That says 5.4 tons. 2007, 2008, they were down here like 1 point something. And now between Russia, India, and China, it's a 5 point something. 5.4 tons. More de-dollarization than ever. Okay, what about the dollars and medium of exchange? Well, China, which is the #1 trade partner of most countries in the world now, in case you didn't know, I didn't know that, has just flipped to majority CNY for cross-border FX deals. Its currency. Just flipped, really. Not great. Less sanction. Number 8, it says less sanction efficacy than ever. The sanction plot, the sanction thing ain't working. Okay, but can't the dollar still be used as a sanctions weapon? Don't countries need access to U.S. financial system? Actually, no. All the sanctions on Russia actually ended up hurting Europe more than Russia. Europe needed Russia's oil and gas, but Russia had other customers. So according to the World Bank, which is not a Russian source, Russia just flipped Japan to become the #4 global economy in GDP. Russia just flipped Japan. And right now, as of 2023, at least, China was 1 and US was 2. Peacetime debt approaching World War II. All right, but what about the United States military? Can it ultimately go to war to protect the dollar? Well, that's a much longer conversation, but see the graph below. Today, the United States is ostensibly in quote unquote peacetime, and yet has comparable debt to World War II. Again, a whole separate thread, but the U.S. has neither the money nor the manufacturing base for a sustained military campaign against a peer rival like China. We're not prepared to fight. It says you can't fight your factory, especially when you're out of money. Wow, almost done here. Number 10, true debt more than any empire in history. Finally, maybe the single most important number in the whole thread is that 175.3 trillion figure. That's actually the true debt of the USA. When you take all the entitlements into account, like Social Security and Medicare, and that number itself is rapidly increasing. Don't take it from me, says Balaji. Take it from the February 2024 financial report of the United States government. The 175.3 trillion lines up with the 200 trillion number that Druckenmiller has been using for the all-in liabilities of the United States government when you take everything into account. And of course, at this point, we are in monopoly money territory because the entire Fed GUV only collected 2 trillion last year. That number is itself juiced by deficit spending. The dollar is down 25% in real terms since 2020, and the 177 trillion in asset value plummets if liquidated, or if there is a financial crisis, or both. So that 175 trillion debt is unpayable. The US government doesn't have nearly enough to pay for what it owes. It made promises to everyone, from allies to retirees, that it simply can't keep. To hang on to power amidst that web of broken obligations, it is going to get nasty on a level beyond which most can really comprehend. The dollar is becoming less essential. In short, I really haven't even gotten started. There are many more graphs I could show. Many more videos from investors around the world, from bonds to real estate to tech, who are seeing what's happening. But if you're intellectually honest, the dollar's position is rapidly eroding. It simply isn't the indispensable asset it once was. To summarize, China doesn't need the dollar to trade. They're using CNY instead of USD. BRICS doesn't need the dollar to save. They're buying gold instead of US bonds. Russia doesn't need the dollar to live. They're the #4 economy after being shut out of the US economy. Yet the US needs as much of the world as possible to accept the dollar, as it's borrowing at levels beyond the virus, beyond WW2, beyond any empire in history. That's a big statement. So what comes next? I have some ideas, but first we need to align on what's happening. And he's got some references. Let's get more references. This is an interesting thread. That's good stuff. Okay, so let me see what he says here at the end. Interest costs will become the single largest category of the budget, bigger than Social Security, Medicare, and national defense. Wow. All right, so those are just the references. So this is an interestingly long thread, and it's great food for thought for sure. I don't think he really kind of ended it anywhere. Someone said, so what should someone who wants to protect his asset needs to do? Well, it's been right in front of most people. It's been gold, Bitcoin, and gold, silver, and crypto for sure. So yeah, he doesn't really sum it all up. But you guys get the picture. This dude is, I'm telling you, you watch that interview with him and Raoul Paul. It's a doozy. It's a tough listen to because he does go in a lot of different directions. A lot of different directions, but really smart. Guys, do me a favor and hit that like button. That would be super cool. We always like to have just as many likes as we have viewers in the stream. And it really helps to get the channel out to more people who don't know about this thread from Balaji, who don't know about the serious debt crisis that we're in, who don't know that there's a new financial system. In other words, there's an answer for the average Joe and Jane. There's an answer, and it's the digital asset space. They don't know. And we could do our part to let them know by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel for sure, so that we can let more and more people realize what, let them get an answer, because it's not our fault what happened, it's their fault. But there is an answer. We got to let people know there's an answer. We can't just keep it to ourselves. Right? All right, let me catch up into what's going on here in the chat. Number 5 is a bullet, Yosef. Yes. See, you are a smart brother, and I respect your opinion. It's been listening for years. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that, my guy. The beginning of the end of the dollar used to be around, but work for a lot less. Yep. And there's some fixes to some things, for sure. It's just a matter of what is the United States Treasury and/or government, what are they going to decide to be the fix? Are they going to revalue their gold? It creates an escalating effect to really change the gold deal. They can revalue it, and it feels like the BRICS nations know that's what's going to happen. That's why they're stacking up so much of it, because they probably understand that that's the answer. It's one of the answers to help with the debt, especially if your debt is owed in the dollars. You can revalue your gold, therefore taking less dollars to pay off the same debt. It seems like that's something that they would do. I just don't know if they're going to do it. They certainly can't afford a collapse. They certainly can't afford that. Revaluing gold doesn't hurt people. That's the thing. It may benefit some others, but it doesn't hurt. Right? It doesn't hurt. It will benefit those who have it. It's not going to hurt anyone who doesn't have it. But if they keep printing the money and they keep devaluing the dollar and debasing the dollar, that's hurting It's hurting people. So we'll see. We'll see. Now, having assets that will do even outpace any revaluing gold, you know, 2,000 to 20,000, that's 10x. That's a typical stuff in crypto. It'd be great for gold holders. They're not used to that kind of stuff. Like a, you know, 1 day reevaluation, you know, they're not used to that. But in crypto, holding assets in cryptos, you know, it's not a bad deal. You know, it's not a bad deal. I think this is why Robert Kiyosaki keeps saying the same thing. By the way, he does buy ETH as well, but he keeps saying, he always says Bitcoin, gold, and silver. It's interesting that he says those things. All right, fam. So I think that's it. Let me see if I want to share any more here. I shared the ETH thing. I shared that. Yep. Yep. There it is. The light at the end of the tunnel is certainly for digital asset holders. And I think that what I'll probably do is not take any of that dirty, nasty fiat today to buy gold, but after when moon, get some just to say I have some, not much, 10, 20K worth, not much, but have some. Joseph says, seems like they want to keep distractions going to keep us from focusing on investing. Indeed. Yeah. Well, from learning the truth, you know, to learning the real truth of the mess that we're in. That's the big time distraction. And oh, by the way, I know you asked this, Joseph, yesterday. So when you deposit an asset that can go up in value during when moon, during a bull run, what you can do is, if this goes from $500 in value to $1,000 in value, and you borrow 200, you can take some of this off of here that's increased in value to pay down the 200, right? Because this has gone up so much in value, you can take 2, 3, 4, 5 tokens, 10, 20, 30, 40 tokens, right? Because it's increased in value to pay down the thing that you bought. That's what you can kind of do to pay it down the thing. That's why for me, the timing for us in the Crypto Sieges home is we have confirmation for the most part of bull run, even if it's just BTC as a depositing asset. We just have this confirmation. We can feel comfortable with it maintaining its value, even if it goes down 10 or 15%. Then eventually it goes up. BTC goes from 60 to 100. That value goes up. You see what I'm saying? So, which is a different strategy during a bear market when you're looking to deposit assets and borrow. That's a different story than it. You want to stay in that, you know, that 30 to 35% LTV, right? You know what I mean? Because it's a different market then. Yep. Chris Miles says agree. So that's kind of where we are, fam. Interesting post from Balaji, I got to tell you. Interesting post. And again, if you want to know the inner dynamics of DeFi and entering DeFi and how that works, you can join the Patreon at patreon.com/GWW Mastermind. And I share my stuff there for sure. And looking forward to building up enough people there and kind of going there and going on some journeys together, right? $1 a day to $10 a day to $100 a day in DeFi, right? It's pretty cool. It'll be pretty cool. It'll be a lot of fun, right? So, you know, the mechanics, right? We'll do a video on the mechanics on how you get on the XRPL and how to use the automated market maker. We'll do videos here, right? Because those are mechanics, skill set, strategies for creating cash flow. That is a different thing. Mechanics, we could teach you that 5, 10, 15 minutes. That's easy enough. All right, fam. I appreciate you guys checking in. Yosef, my guy, Chris Miles, I appreciate you guys checking in for sure. Alex Wright, I appreciate you checking in, dude. Rafi, appreciate you being here, my friend. Leo Messi checked in. Appreciate you being here, as always. Alex Yeet, the Blue Wrench, I miss you checking in, my guy. Thank you for checking in. Contact Fu, appreciate you being here as well. Alex Wright was first in the building. How about that? Appreciate you being here, bro. All right, fam. Look, I am going to, again, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way out. If you didn't do so on the way in, that'd be super, super cool. I'm going to end this live stream like I do all my live streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.